Have you ever felt like the universe is trying to tell you something, but it's speaking in a language only your soul understands? Like the clock keeps hitting 11:11, your dreams feel too real, and there's this strange pull in your chest that won't let go. And Virgo, what if the person who once broke you is now waking up every night, haunted by the very pain they gave you? Now listen, this isn't just a vibe, it's real. You've been sensing something shifting. Maybe it's 11:11 on the clock. Maybe it's that dream that keeps repeating. Or maybe it's that ache in your soul telling you you're not supposed to stay stuck here anymore. Let me tell you a story about Lily. She trusted the wrong person, gave everything, got burned, and for years she smiled like she was fine while breaking inside. But the universe, it saw her, and one day something shifted. A message came, a moment of clarity, and Lily, she finally let go. That's when everything started to change. This video isn't about predictions, it's a wake-up call, a mirror, and if you stay with me till the end, Virgo, you'll see why Lily's story might just be your own. Let's get real, Virgo. You've been carrying pain like it's part of your identity. You smile, you push forward, but deep down, there's this heaviness, and no matter how hard you try to move on, some part of you still feels stuck. That's the trap. That's the cycle. You give and give, your time, your energy, your love, and what do you get in return? Silence, disappointment, maybe even betrayal. You start wondering, is something wrong with me? But here's the truth. There's nothing wrong with your heart. You've just been planting it in the wrong soil. Now let me bring Lily back in. After her breakup, she kept telling herself, "I'm fine." She buried her emotions in work, distractions, fake smiles. But one night, she broke down in the middle of brushing her teeth. That's when she realized healing doesn't start when the pain ends. It starts when you stop pretending. So here's your moment, Virgo. Look at what's still hurting you. Be honest. Because once you name it, you can release it. And when you do, you make room for something better. Not perfect, just real. And real is what your soul has been waiting for. Virgo, let's talk about the part nobody wants to face. Letting go. Sounds simple, right? But man, it's the hardest thing in the world when your heart's still holding on to someone who once made it feel alive. And here's the thing. Not because you're weak, but because you cared so deeply. That's your superpower. But if you keep watering dead plants, don't be surprised when nothing grows. Lily learned that the hard way. She held on to a relationship that ended long before the breakup. The texts got shorter, the calls got colder, but she kept making excuses. He's just busy. He's going through something. But deep down, she knew he had already let go. It was Lily who kept clinging to the memory, to the fantasy, not the reality. Until one day she looked in the mirror and didn't recognize herself. Tired eyes, quiet spirit, empty soul. That's when it hit her. I've been abandoning myself trying to hold on to someone else. And that's where real healing begins, Virgo, with truth. So I'm asking you now, what truth are you avoiding? What memory still makes your stomach twist? What name still haunts your silence? Write it down, all of it. Grab a pen and a journal. Make a list, not of people you want closure from, but of everything that's taking up space in your heart without paying rent. That old fight, that friendship that faded, that apology you never got. Write it, burn it, rip it, bury it. Whatever ritual feels right, do it. Not for them, for you. Because Virgo, the moment you create space is the moment the universe starts filling it with something better. And trust me, it wants to give you so much more, but you have to make room. Now let's get real about karma. I know, people throw that word around like it's instant revenge, but true karma, it's subtle, precise, and always on time. And here's where Lily's story gets interesting. The same person who ghosted her came back, but not like a movie scene with roses and regret. No, he showed up messy, lost, confused, talking about how life hasn't been the same, how he can't sleep, how everything's falling apart. And Lily? She didn't feel satisfied. She felt sadness. Not for him, but for the girl she used to be. The one who would have dropped everything for that kind of attention. But she wasn't that girl anymore, and that's how you know karma has done its job, not when you get revenge, but when you don't need it. Because you've outgrown the pain. You've risen above it. Karma is not about punishing others. It's about restoring balance. The scales are tipping, Virgo. And if you've been betrayed, overlooked, used, manipulated, you better believe the universe saw it all. Every tear, every lie, every time you kept silent to keep the peace. Divine justice is now at play, and it doesn't need your permission. It's already moving, and what's coming to those who hurt you isn't your concern. What matters is what's coming to you. Peace, freedom, alignment, the kind of love that doesn't make you question yourself, the kind of opportunities that make you wonder why you ever settled. But remember, karma doesn't come with fireworks. It comes quietly. It arrives when you're no longer obsessed with the outcome, when you've truly let go. So Virgo, your job isn't to watch them fall. It's to rise, like Lily did. She didn't clap when his world crumbled. She whispered, "Thank you to the stars for finally setting her free." That's grace, and that's the energy you need to step into now. Because grace, that's where real power lives. Years later, Lily saw him again. Not through a message or a random memory, but in real life. At a coffee shop, same eyes, same smirk. But something inside her had shifted. She didn't feel her heart race. No ache, no anger, just neutrality, peace. He walked past her, their eyes met, and for the first time, she didn't hope for closure. She didn't need it. That moment wasn't about him anymore. It was about her, the version of her that no longer waited for validation from the same place that caused her pain. And right there, in the silence between glances, she realized she had healed. She had outgrown the wound. And Virgo, this is your mirror moment. If you saw them today, the one who broke you, what would you feel? Would your soul still tremble? Or would it finally exhale? The answer doesn't lie in them. It lives in who you've become. And you know what really hit her? It wasn't the silence. It was the realization that she kept checking her phone for a message that would never come. That's when she grabbed her journal and for the first time, wrote his name down with every emotion she'd bottled up. Rage, sadness, regret. She lit a candle, read the letter out loud, and burned it safely, like she was releasing every chain. And she said it, trembling but powerful. "I let you go. I set myself free." That night, she slept like a baby Now here's the lesson. Letting go isn't about pretending it didn't matter. It's about acknowledging that it did matter and still choosing you. It's about saying, "This broke me, but I won't stay broken." It's about deciding that peace is more important than closure. And justice? Oh, it's coming. Because while Lily was rising, the person who broke her was unraveling. Friends stopped calling. Opportunities dried up. Karma doesn't always come loud. It often arrives in whispers, in delays, in lonely nights. Virgo, have you ever noticed how certain signs seem to chase you? Like everywhere you look, there's that same number again. 111, 444. Maybe it's a feather on your windshield, a specific song playing at the perfect moment. You might think, okay, weird coincidence. But let me tell you, it's not. That's the universe, baby. That's your guides yelling, "We're here. We see you. Don't give up." Lily didn't believe in signs at first. She thought life was just random chaos. But after her heartbreak, things started to shift. She began waking up at 3:33 a.m. every night. She'd open her phone, and there it was again, 3:33 on the lock screen. One morning, she Googled it. And guess what? Alignment, ascended masters, a turning point. That was the first time she stopped and whispered, "Okay, maybe this isn't all in my head." One afternoon, She was crying in her car outside the grocery store, feeling totally invisible. And that's when a little girl walked by, looked right at her, and smiled. Just smiled. No words. And that smile, it felt like a message from beyond. Like someone was saying, "You're not alone." After that, she started paying attention to every single sign. And those signs, they led her somewhere powerful. Virgo, you're not crazy. You're connected. And the more tuned in you become, the clearer the path will get. But here's the kicker. When the signs start showing up faster, so does the moment that changes everything. The wheel of fortune is spinning. I'm talking about asterisk, that one thing asterisk that shows up out of nowhere and flips your entire story. For Lily, it was a letter. An invitation to speak at an event she didn't even remember applying for. At first, she wanted to say no. The timing felt off, the fear came back. But something inside her whispered, "Do it scared." That event? It changed her life. Someone in the audience offered her a dream job, a job where she felt seen, respected, safe. The kind of opportunity that didn't just pay her, it healed her. She later called it her destiny detour. But here's the truth. It wasn't random. The signs led her there. The breakdown in the car, the numbers, the insomnia, all of it was guiding her toward that exact moment. And now, Virgo, I need you to hear me loud and clear. Your moment is coming. That letter, that phone call, that unexpected DM, something is aligning behind the scenes and you won't see it coming. But when it does, when the door opens, you better walk through it. Even if your knees shake, even if your voice trembles, say yes. Because this is fate. And fate waits for no one. But here's the catch. Fate only delivers to the brave. You have to be willing to leave the old cycle behind. You can't step into a new chapter while clinging to a story that no longer serves you. This is your turning point. The old you, she survived. But the new you, she thrives. You might feel tired, doubtful. You might be wondering, when's it my turn? But what if I told you, it's right now, not next week, not next year. This moment, the one you're living right now, is part of your breakthrough. And every time you trust that, even just a little more, the energy shifts in your favor. So Virgo, don't ignore the signs. Don't doubt the whispers. Don't brush off the butterflies in your stomach. Your soul knows what's coming, and it's big. But only if you're ready to say yes when the moment comes. Just like Lily did. Remember, the universe doesn't shout, it whispers. And those whispers, they're getting louder, you feel it. So don't hesitate. Lean in, say yes, and let the story unfold. Let me break it down for you even more. The universe isn't asking you to be perfect, it's asking you to be present. To say, I'm ready, even when you're scared. Because signs only make sense in hindsight. You'll look back months from now and say, oh, that's why I saw 222 every morning, just like Lily did. She later found out the address of the building where she got her dream job. It ended in 222. Goosebumps, right? That's the power of divine alignment. So write it down. Journal your signs. Speak the... Let's talk about love, Virgo. The real kind. The kind that doesn't make you guess where you stand, doesn't keep you waiting by the phone, and sure as hell doesn't make you question your worth. You've had enough of that. Lily did too. After her heart got broken, she told herself she'd never trust again. She dated half-heartedly, kept her walls up, and smiled through awkward dinners, thinking, is this all there is? But deep down, she was still hoping that maybe, just maybe, something different would show up. And one day, it did. Not in the form of a perfect man with a perfect script. No, he was kind, a little awkward, but real. He asked questions, he listened, he showed up, consistently. No grand gestures, no roller coaster, just peace. And for Lily, that was everything. She realized love isn't supposed to be earned. It's supposed to feel safe. And Virgo, you deserve that kind of love. The kind that holds your hand, not just your body. The kind that builds with you, not breaks you down. But here's the thing. You can't receive that love while your heart is still full of old wounds. You have to clear space, energetically, emotionally, spiritually. So if you're still holding on to a maybe, a someday, or someone who texts you at 2 a.m. but disappears when the sun rises, it's time to let them go. That's not love. That's a lesson. And once you learn it, the test won't repeat. Now let's talk about money, because abundance is a love language too. And Virgo, I know you've been working hard. You give, you serve, you plan. And still, sometimes it feels like money slips through your fingers like sand. Lily knew that pain. She'd budget every dollar, skip self-care, and live in a cycle of just enough. But one day she got curious. She asked herself, what if money isn't the enemy? What if I've been pushing it away with my beliefs? That's when she started doing the inner work. She wrote down all the things she heard growing up. Money doesn't grow on trees. Rich people are greedy. We can't afford that. Then she crossed each one out and wrote a new truth. Money flows to me with ease. Wealth is safe. I deserve to be supported. And no, it didn't change overnight. But something shifted. She stopped speaking. She stopped apologizing for wanting more. She stopped settling for crumbs, financially and emotionally. And then the wildest thing happened. A side project she almost gave up on, it blew up. A random post went viral. Clients started reaching out. Opportunities that once felt like fantasies started becoming her actual reality. Because money is energy, and when you shift your energy, everything else starts to follow. Virgo, this isn't just about dollars in your bank account. It's about worth, deservingness, receiving. You were never meant to struggle just to survive. Your soul came here to thrive. But that can't happen if you're still repeating the same beliefs that kept your parents or your past self stuck. So let's rewrite the story. Say it with me. I am worthy of wealth. I am safe to receive. Money supports my purpose. Say it again, louder, mean it. Because this isn't woo-woo fluff. It's neuroscience. It's energy. It's rewiring your nervous system to expect miracles instead of waiting for the other shoe to drop. And you don't need to wait until everything's perfect. Start now with your next decision, your next investment, your next affirmation. Choose abundance, even when your bank account doesn't reflect it yet. Choose love, even when your heart still remembers the pain. Because the more you choose what you want, the faster it finds you. And when it does, when love and money start flowing together, you'll realize they were never separate. They were always connected. Both require trust. Both require belief. Both require you to know you're enough. So, Virgo, what are you still holding on to that's keeping all this away? Who do you need to forgive? What belief do you need to release? Write it down. Burn it if you need to. Cry if it helps. But let it go. Because what's coming next is beautiful. And this time, you won't have to chase it. You'll just have to receive it. Let me be clear, Virgo. This shift isn't about luck. It's about alignment. When you finally stop settling for the bare minimum, you create space for the universe to deliver more. That's what Lily realized. She stopped saying, I'll be okay with less, and started saying, I'm open to more. More peace, more respect, more ease. And the universe? It heard her loud and clear. She upgraded her boundaries, her standards, and even her wardrobe. She started walking like the version of herself who already had it. And that confidence? It became magnetic. One day, she got an email from someone she admired, offering her a paid opportunity to collaborate. It wasn't just about the money. It was the validation that she was seen, chosen, and trusted. And that ripple effect? It touched everything. Her love life, her friendships, her own inner dialogue. That's the energy shift you're being called into now. Don't beg for crumbs when you were born to feast. Don't shrink to fit into spaces that were never built for your expansion. You're not asking for too much. You're just asking the wrong people. Ask the universe instead, and then move like your answer is already on its way. Let's take it deeper, Virgo. We've talked about letting go, about love, about money. But none of that truly sticks unless you heal the part of you that still believes you're not enough. I'm talking about your inner child. That younger version of you who still remembers the rejection, the silence, the way you had to shrink just to feel safe. That child isn't weak. That child is wise, sensitive, and still waiting for you to say, "I've got you now." For Lily, that moment came unexpectedly. She was journaling one morning and suddenly started crying out of nowhere. A memory hit her. Being 5 years old, overhearing her parents fight about money. That's when she learned the world isn't safe, that love can leave, that security is temporary. And even though she was a grown woman now, that 5-year-old was still in the driver's seat every time she panicked over bills or pushed love away. So she started doing something radical. She started talking to that version of herself, not with judgment, but with compassion. She'd say, "You didn't deserve that. You were just a kid. And I'm sorry no one protected you, but I will now." She'd write letters to her inner child, place her hand on her heart, and breathe through the fear. And you know what? It didn't erase the past, but it changed her relationship to it. She wasn't a prisoner to old stories anymore. Virgo, maybe you're still carrying a version of yourself that's scared. Scared to fail, scared to trust, scared to be seen. And that's okay. But that version of you doesn't have to lead the way anymore. You get to be the protector now. You get to be the safe space you never had. And when you do that, when you parent yourself with love instead of pressure, you begin to rewrite everything. That's where mindset comes in. Because healing without rewiring your thoughts, it's like patching a roof but leaving the leak. You'll end up soaked again. Lily learned that after slipping back into old patterns, even after doing the work. She'd feel good. Then one rejection would spiral her into, "See? I knew I wasn't good enough." Sound familiar? So she got curious. What am I making this mean about me? That's the golden question, Virgo. What are you making your pain mean? That you're unlovable? That success is for other people? That no matter how hard you try, it's never enough? If so, it's time to challenge that. Because your beliefs create your behavior, and your behavior creates your reality. Lily started interrupting the spiral. She'd say, "Wait, pause, what's the actual truth here?" She began replacing "I always mess things up" with "I'm learning." She shifted from "no one ever chooses me" to "the right ones always do." And slowly, her energy changed. People noticed. Doors opened. Not because she faked confidence, but because she chose a new identity. And that's what mindset is. Identity in motion. It's deciding who you are, again and again, even when your past tries to pull you back. It's catching yourself when you slip and saying, "Nope, that's the old script. I'm writing a new one." So Virgo, here's your moment. Get honest. What belief is still holding you back? What lie are you still living like it's true? Write it down, then write the opposite. Say it out loud every day, because repetition rewires reality. This isn't toxic positivity. This is training your brain to look for possibilities instead of pain. You've survived enough, haven't you? Isn't it time to live? Isn't it time to believe that maybe, just maybe, you were made for more? The new story starts with you. Here's another thing Lily did. She recorded voice notes to herself. Every morning she'd hit records and speak as if she were coaching her younger self. Sometimes she'd cry, sometimes she'd laugh, but the point wasn't perfection. It was a connection. That daily habit rewired not just her mind, but her nervous system. She started to feel safer in her own body, safer with hope, safer with love. That's powerful. And guess what? Her relationships changed. Because when you believe you're worthy, you stop chasing people who don't see your value. You stop over-explaining, over-performing, over-giving. You start moving with calm, with confidence. People feel that. They lean in differently. Some fall away, and that's okay. Because you're not meant to carry everyone into your new season. Virgo mindset isn't just about thoughts, it's about identity. You can't keep speaking the language of fear and expect to live a life of faith. It's time to switch dialects. It's time to speak of abundance, love, strength. Even if your voice shakes, it's time to remind yourself daily, I am safe, I am chosen, I am becoming. So make a list. Who are you no longer willing to be? And who are you now ready to become? Tape that list to your mirror. Read it every morning. Because when you change the story, you change the outcome. And you, Virgo, are long overdue for a new ending. So here we are, Virgo, at the edge of everything that's been and everything that could be. Let's talk about who you're becoming. Not the version of you shaped by trauma, rejection, or survival, but the version led by purpose, peace, and power. Lily didn't become someone else. She became herself, finally. The version she used to dream about, but never thought she'd be brave enough to embody. That version didn't wait for validation. She didn't shrink to make others comfortable. She didn't explain her worth. She walked in it. And Virgo, it's your turn. You've done the work. You've cried the tears. You've survived the losses. And now, it's time to rise. This is your rebirth. The moment where the old identity dies, not in sadness, but in celebration. Because from those ashes, something sacred is born. Clarity, courage, and confidence that doesn't need to be loud to be real. You get to decide who you are now. Not your past, not your mistakes, not your fears, just you. Clear, whole, awake. So write your new identity. Who is she? What does she believe about herself? How does she move, speak, love, and lead? Make it vivid, make it honest, make it yours. And now, we close this journey the way all sacred transformations end, with awakening. Because what you've just experienced, it's not just personal growth, it's spiritual alignment. You didn't just shift your habits, you shifted your vibration. The old timelines, you've outgrown them. The old lessons, you've learned them. The old patterns, you're free now. Lily used to think awakening would feel like fireworks or thunder. But really, it was a whisper, a stillness, a moment of deep knowing. She was brushing her hair one morning, looked at herself in the mirror, and for the first time didn't criticize her face. She smiled, not because everything was perfect, but because she felt peace. And that peace, that was proof of awakening. So Virgo, if you felt chills, tears, goosebumps, or even just a deep breath during this message, that's your soul responding. That's alignment. That's your higher self nodding, saying, yes, this is the path. Don't ignore that feeling. Lean into it. Journal what's coming up. Light a candle. Say a prayer. Do whatever helps you anchor into this moment. Because transformation isn't just about what you hear, it's about what you choose next. And here's my invitation to you. Don't rush back into the noise. Sit with this energy, let it settle, and then act from it. Start the new chapter, not from fear, but from truth. If this message spoke to your soul, share it with someone who needs it. Let them know they're not alone in their becoming. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, because this space is more than just a channel. It's a sacred mirror, a reminder, a home for your highest self. Virgo, your new life begins the moment you stop waiting and start believing. So take a breath, take a step, and don't look back. Your future is already calling you forward. So here's what I want you to do. Tonight, after this video, take out a piece of paper and write this sentence across the top. The version of me I'm becoming is, and then let your pen move. Don't think too much. Let your heart speak. Describe her in color, in texture, in energy. Is she calm? Is she bold? Is she soft but unshakable? Let your future self speak through your hand. Then write one thing you can do tomorrow to show up as her. Maybe it's waking up 30 minutes earlier. Maybe it's saying no to something you've always said yes to out of guilt. Maybe it's finally booking that therapy session. It doesn't have to be big, it just has to be true. That's how change happens, quietly, intentionally, one aligned choice at a time. And when the doubts creep in, and they will, remember Lily. She wasn't fearless, she was committed. She didn't always know what she was doing, but she kept showing up, kept trusting, kept moving forward, even when her knees were shaking. You can do that too, Virgo. You already are. You're not behind. You're right on time. And the universe? It's been waiting for you to believe it. Before you click away, Virgo, here's your magic blueprint. 3 simple steps to shift your energy starting today. 1. Write a letter to the one who hurt you. Don't send it, just release it. 2. Stand in front of your mirror each morning and say, "I am safe," 3 times. Say it like you mean it. 3. Spend 5 quiet minutes visualizing the version of you who already has peace, love, and purpose. Let her guide your choices. Do this for the next 7 days and watch how the universe responds. Because your healing, it begins the moment you decide to show up for yourself.